In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the steepest and least steep lines using Google Sheets. Okay. Now, the other possibility is you can actually just print out the graph. We used to do this with a ruler. Let me just show you what we're doing, what the goal here is. We have to zoom in to see it. But first, notice that there's a line here. This is the steepest line. Notice that it goes through the top of that error bar, and it hits all the error bars in between and goes through the bottom of this one. And that's what almost always will happen because this data is pretty clean. So if you just hit the top of that one and the bottom of that one with the steepest line, and then the least steep line goes through the bottom of this one and through the top of that one. Let me just zoom in to show you this, okay? Let's see. Can I scroll side to side with this mouse? Oh, I can. That's clever. So here, notice that the steepest line goes through the bottom of that one. And then, can I drag it diagonally? Not really. One at a time. And then notice it goes through the top of that one, right? So the steepest line goes through the top of that one and the bottom of this one. The least steep line goes through, and that's a little bit shallow, or a little bit not, a little bit too steep, right? It should be down a little bit. It should go through the bottom, right where the intersection of the vertical part of that and the right, and then it goes through the top of that one. Okay, let's just do the best we can with that. So let me just show you how to do this. Here's the graph. Let's zoom out. I think you got to zoom out to see it, right? And what we're going to do is we're just going to insert a drawing. Okay, a drawing. So wait for it to load, then click the straight line tool. And then literally, I'm just sort of imagining where that graph is below here, right? And I'm just going to go all the way across this window that they give me. And then save it and close it. And it'll stick the thing. Sometimes it's like down here, way down here, right? It'll stick it somewhere, right? And you got to just move it. So let's move this. Let's make this our steepest line, okay? Notice how it just barely sticks out over the side. It's always a good idea to have it sticking over the side of the graph, because that way if you accidentally click on the graph and bring the graph to the foreground, you can just click on the line and that'll bring it to the foreground. Okay, this is looking fairly good there. So see, you can drag these handles and then it's kind of IQ on the line. How do you get it to go through? This one needs to go through the top of that one and the bottom of that one. And we might have just done that. Let's just see. And zoom in, right? It's easier if you have a big screen, I feel like. Okay, let's see. Ooh, that's pretty good. It goes through the bottom of that one and it goes through the top. I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out to put in the next line. And let's go back to where we were. Okay, and this is going to be that's the steepest line, right? The least steep line, let's insert a drawing. Again, wait for it to load, click the line tool, and then I'm going to just draw a line across this that I think is close. Notice it puts it way down here. It's like, well, let's move it up here. Okay, let's make this guy a little bigger. Okay, so now we want to go through that guy, but then to go through the bottom of this one. So it's kind of like a adjustment. All right, let's see, top of that one and the bottom of this one. Okay, I'm pretty much failing at this. What if I pull that one to the side? Ah, that's a good adjustment. That makes it less steep. Notice on my left side there, I really need this to intersect the x-axis. Absolutely must intersect that x-axis. I don't care what it does over here. Okay. I think I got lucky on the first one there. Where are we? I think we're fairly close, right? But it does need to be shallower. So again, I'm just sort of moving it up, dragging it right, and eventually it's going to iteratively, we're going to get the right values here. That's looking fairly good. I feel like maybe it needs to be a little higher. There. Is that pretty good? I think it's pretty good. There we go. All right. All right, let's just double check. Let's just check on it. I feel like this one's going to be off a little bit, but that's... Whoa, baby. Okay, let's see. So the least steep goes through the top of this one. Well, dang, that looks pretty good. This one, it could be a little lower. I feel like it should be a little lower for that. This one looks good, though. All right. Let's make, so basically I'm just, trial and error here. That guy, let's make it a little lower. There we go. I think that's good. All right. So now we've got this. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we could just paste this into our document? But we can't really, because these things are going to move around. They'll, typically what they do is they end up underneath the graph. So what we're going to do is just totally cheat here. We're going to screenshot this thing. Now on the Chromebook, you're going to use the Control-Shift screenshot key. And that's the little key above the number 6. Okay, and that's going to bring up a little window. And you just click copy to the clipboard and then just paste it into your doc with Control V. I've got a Mac here, so I have to do Control Shift Command 4, and then I can paste it in, right? If you have a PC, you do Shift Windows S, and that brings up the snipping tool. And then again, you do Control V into your doc. And I put these notes in the lab itself there. But since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to do Shift Control Command 4. Then it brings up those little crosshairs like that. That's fun. And then I'm just going to do this. That looks like the dog's going to hunt, and then here's my copy of it. So let's get rid of that and just paste it in there. That looks pretty good. And then my data table, I want to paste that in here. So that's why we made a duplicate of it. I'm going to leave the sort of the average uncertainty off of there because that's kind of a clandestine calculation. I'm going to copy and then go in here and delete and paste. Link it. I'm just not going to link it, but there we go. That looks nice, doesn't it? I feel like it does. You could clean it up if you need to, but make sure you've labeled the units. So this is degrees Celsius, that's kilopascals. I just put pressures in kilopascals, and then like everything here is that. I don't know. You could format this better. But anyway, there we have it. That's our max and min slope lines. Okay.